Okay, welcome back. This week episode, we're still on the topic of playing the victim, but we're going to talk about the other side of it. So last week I talked about my female friend and my mother. This week I'm going to talk about my father and the male side of that. So people who play victim to their circumstances and then they use their circumstances to as an excuse for their bad behavior. What I mean by that is that my father is a great example of this. He is a baby man child, and he think that behavior is appropriate because he always used the excuse that he grew up without a father. He never get to enjoy his childhood. He have to work at a young age. So in Asia, if you're 6 year old, if you're 8 year old, if you can work, there's no child labor law. So he have to work to support his mom and all that sad ass story, whatever is. Yeah, you get that right. Everybody do that. So these man child using excuses of their sad childhood or their freaking mom abused them or whatever to enable their baby man child behavior with their partner, whether it's their partner or their wife, in this case, my mother. So he always does that and he doesn't want, so he doesn't, he can't keep a full time job. He keeps getting fired from wherever he works. And then he used my mom money to buy a bunch of stuff just because they're on sale because he wants it. And the excuse is always that I never get to buy these things when I was a kid growing up because I was poor and blah, blah, blah. So now I can use your money, not my own money that I earn, but your money, your hard earned money, because you're the only person that working to support my childhood of buying a bunch of crap that I don't need, but I just want to buy it. And then it's also a competition with him that whenever my mom buy me stuff that I don't really care for, like I hate brand name item, and she always buy them just because she thinks it's embarrassing that I don't wear brand name stuff and we have to act like we're rich Asian or whatever. I hate wearing stuff with logo on it. It's just like you're a fucking walking billboard. Like, why do you need to wear that? Like seriously. But anyways, so you know, then my mom buy me that stuff. Then my dad would be like, "Oh, but I want something too, just because I need to have something. If you're gonna buy her something, is just this pathetic baby man child behavior every time." And then he also do it like no share responsibility whatsoever. So he get excused with not doing any house chore, not doing the dishes, not cooking because his life, his tragic life story of having a poor childhood and doing all that stuff to help his mom. And now that me and my mom are there, not just be part of the family, but act like more like his personal servant, do the dishes, cooking, and then he gets to do nothing. It is these disgusting man child behavior, and then they use their circumstances to get out of all responsibility to do absolutely nothing is the most toxic thing ever. Nobody should be using their circumstances to get out of having any responsibility. Yes, you grew up poor. Yes, you lost your father at a young age. It does not give you an excuse to treat your wife and your child like that. You choose to be a parent, so it's your responsibility to provide for the child, not just act like a baby man child and just get whatever you want. And if you don't, and this is where the role playing come in, is that you get loud, you bang thing, you throw a tantrum, and then my mom would also have to give in because she grew up in a culture where men are allowed to hit women. So her father hit her. So whenever my baby man child dad throw a tantrum and get loud and throw things, she get mad. Like, but she can't say anything about it because she have to endorse it. And over time, is just she just become more submissive and enable this baby man child to do whatever he wants. So not only did he play the role of the typical stereotypical men don't cry when they get angry, but when women get angry and they cry, they call that emotion being emotional. But the men version of that is that they get angry and they throw things. So that is also an example of using your role to abuse somebody because you know that your physique and the way you act, now both gender come in all shape and size. But when you grow up in a certain culture where abusive men are allowed to act a certain way and hitting women, they're just groomed that way to be afraid of men automatically. So here we see two examples of abuse: abusing your role as a man and abusing your circumstances where you grew up in a sad childhood to get away with your toxic baby man child behavior. So people need to grow up and accept that what they're doing is wrong and that there is no excuse for it. There's no excuse for you to abuse your partner and your child just because of your traumatized childhood. There's no excuse to get violent because that's how people in your role act. That's how men act. They have to get violent and angry. It's very toxic. Don't play the victim of young circumstances. Not everybody was born with a silver spoon in their mouth. That's the reality. You are at different places in your life. You have to work harder to get to the top than other. And wherever that is, that's your thing. But using your circumstances as an excuse in life to get away with every single things, it just make you pathetic, make you a coward, and it's really disgusting. So I hope this episode help you recognize that toxic behavior and stay away from those people.